All right, this story is a little different. The when I got out of college, okay, I went to grad school. I ended up getting drafted first day, and then I ended up in the reserves. That's the only way I could finish up school. So I'm in the Navy Reserves. Dennis joined the Navy too. Now, believe it or not, Dennis and I are working as janitors. Well, I'm the janitor, and Dennis is my assistant. He never believed that. At DePaul, believe it or not, we're at my old high school, his high school. He just graduated, and we're the janitors. We're taking care of the school. So um, anyway, when we finish up school, June, the that he takes off for the service. He goes into service. Now, at the time, he's driving his car. He bought this car. Where he bought this car, I have no idea. But it's like a 19, I don't know, 58, 59 Morris Minor. And this is like 1965. A Morris Minor is an English car. It's a little, and the doors open again like this kind of door, and it's a little, looks like a kind of, and not like a Volkswagen, but it kind of Volkswagen-ish, right? Little car like that. And where we got it, I don't know, this kind of foam green thing. So when he leaves, he just leaves the car. Do whatever you want with the car, I don't care. So it was paid for. So he leaves. Well, we're using the car. So I start using the car to go over to grad school. And I forget what happened to my car. Something, I needed something. It was broken. But I'm using his car. I'm coming home from grad school one day. I'm on Route 80. The doggone car gets a flat tire. So I figure, hey, I've changed a million flat tires in my day. No big deal. I get out, I open the trunk. Now I look, I go, what the heck? So there's this thing in there that's like folded up, and this is the jack, but it's like a tripod, right? And it's got a crank on the top, crank like this. I'm like, what the heck? And it's got, so when you look at the crank goes down, it's a big screw, right? Cranks down, and it's got this bar sticking out in front of it, like, 6L. So I'm like, what the heck? What are you doing this? So I look at the car, and lo and behold, in the middle, right in the middle, between the two doors, on the bottom of the car, okay, there's a slot where you can push that rod. So you got to kind of crank down, set the tripod up, crank down till you get even, then push it in. Now, that's going to crank the car, but it's going to crank the whole side of the car, not just the back rear tire. So I start cranking the car up, right? Got to get it off the ground so I can change the tire. I mean, I've already loosened the bolts up and stuff on the tire. So I start cranking the thing up. I just get the tire off the ground, and bang, and you know it, the stupid crank breaks. Now, it doesn't break up where I got the handle. It breaks right at where it starts to screw. So there's nothing. You can't get any leverage on this sucker. I got the car up off the ground, but the jack's broken and the car's on the jack. So I changed the tire. Now I'm like, what do I do now? I got to get this. I got to somehow, I tried lifting the car, see if I could lift it enough to kick the jack out. It was a small car, but it wasn't that small. So anyway, I'm like, geez. And the guy comes along cutting grass. He's got one of these big cutters, got a cracked tractor. I said, hey, pal, can you give me a hand? Or, that tractor's got this big cutter. I said, maybe we get the cutter out of there and lift it up or something like that. Just get the car up enough that I can get the jack off. Oh, no, I couldn't do it. Oh, no. Oh, my boss would go crazy. I can't do that. I might break something. I said, well, how about just getting down? Help me out. Just push the car up and pull this thing out. No, wouldn't do anything. Just leaves. I'm like, son of a gun. So I get in the car, seeing a chip, right? This is Dennis's car, remember? But Dennis isn't here. So I put the thing into gear, right? But I kind of, and then I'm trying to run, but it doesn't have positive traction, right? But you could just pop the clutch and boom, it would go a little bit. So sure enough, it goes and it's leaning forward, right? It goes crunch down, right? So I get out of the car. I have to get out on the other side now because the jack is in front of the door. I get out and come around. That sucker is stuck in there. I could not get it out. No way. Now I'm really ticked. So now I get in the car. I put it in reverse. Boom, I back up. The car goes raw in the air, leads over, goes down. Now the whole time, the jack is leaning into the car. So it's ripping through the front door, going down. Now it goes back through the front door. Now it's got the back doors. I had to do it about 4 times before that damn jack would break. And it had like this half moon type, ripped up, tearing the car. I'm going, good thing old Duff's not home, Finally, the jack breaks. I just took that jack and threw it, left it in the middle of the road, said, hey, I hope that cutter hits the doggone jack when he comes back. Anyway, I drive home. We never added and changed another because we couldn't. I don't know what we would have done if we had to change it. I think I bought a little jack that I could jack up and hopefully jack the whole car up. But we never had another flat tire. Same car, though. Duff borrows, takes the car. We don't say borrow it. Duff's Dennis in there. He takes the car. He's only going down to Singang. He gets to the light at what we used to call the Four Corners on Route 23 in Main Street. Now, fortunately, he's sitting there. He's the second car. There's a station wagon in front of him and a station wagon behind him. And he's sitting in the middle, right? So some guy, now speed limit on Main Street was 25 or 30 miles an hour, tops. Some guy comes barreling down. I don't know if he's drunk or what. Barreling down Main Street, coming towards 23, goes right through the red light and loses control of the car, goes through the red light, slams into the car in front of Jimmy, full blast, like 60 miles an hour, drives the car back, hits the Morris Minor, drives it into the car behind him. Literally, it just crushed that car, compacted it. Now, I think Jimmy had to climb out the window, but he didn't get hurt. No seatbelts, no airbags, nothing. Just crushed that car. He climbs out the window. Now, he might have got a few $100 for the car because the car wasn't worth the hill of beans, in terms of any value. But when Duff comes home on leave, we told him the sad story about the car. It didn't even faze him, you know what I mean? Yeah, can I borrow one of your cars? Yeah, sure, here's the keys. Boom. In fact, we had a long driveway because our house is kind of lengthy. So anybody that pulled in the driveway, the next guy pulled in behind you, and the next guy, you get like 3 cars in there. So all we had was a key rack. And when you'd walk in, you just put your keys on that little hook rack. And then when you were going out, you just look out and say, all right, what car is the last car in line? That's the keys you took. And no matter whose car it was, that's the one you're taking. Because you're not going to back all the other cars out and move them all around. You're taking it. So anyway, that was kind of it's kind of under Jimmy, but he's the guy that finally did the car in. At least I didn't do it in. But just give you a sense of what life was like.